On the stage that they do this big old gigantic musical with 4 people.
Yeah, I think the musical was written for a bigger stage.
But I like this instrument.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
You gotta talk to the director. Yeah, I see this play.
We gotta move this up.
Yeah, this musical is going places.
Yeah.
Tell us about your show. Tell us about your role. Joan Elizabeth Kennedy.
Joan Elizabeth Kennedy. That's me.
And she plays.
And I play the Redhead. The 3 guesses.
Great job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is probably the scariest thing I've ever done.
Wait, the interviewing part?
Yes. No, the play.
Oh, the play. Really?
No, you're fine.
Okay, cool. I'm not nervous. Right. Okay. Don't let them scare you. You're doing good, girl.
No.
You're doing good. John, I enjoy you so much. Tell us a little bit about
you.
What drew you to what attracted you to that role?
Well, I have a bit of a Lucy complex. So it's a private joke at home between me and my boyfriend. You know, it's our go-to, like, if I end up gossiping too much, I'll get a little Lucy. So when I saw this casting notice, I'm like, well, maybe. We'll see. Maybe I can, be a part of it somehow.
Yeah. So what did you do for the audition? You saw the casting notice?
Yeah, I saw the casting notice. I brought my boyfriend with me.
Okay.
He's my bodyguard. And I sang I'm Flying High. And I did a monologue from another show I was in here in LA, Sex, Relationships, and Sometimes Love. So I did those 2 and waited a few weeks, and then I got the call.
How long have you been in Hollywood?
Be 2 years in September.
Good. You're doing some good work. This show is going places.
I certainly hope so. We've worked long and hard on this show. It'd be nice to see this flesh out and really draw a larger audience and maybe a larger venue.
You want to tell the viewers a little bit about the play from your perspective? From
my perspective, it's the backstage going on of a notorious Redhead and Cuban sitcom, and how we're all the best of friends on screen, but backstage there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension between the 2 couples. There's a lot of dysfunction between the 2 friendships, between the 2 men and the 2 women.
Wow.
But somehow, once you get it all on stage, all the flaws become something that's just so fascinating to watch.
It becomes art.
It does become art. It does become art because it's so funny because when you want to be funny, play it like a drama, because that's what we laugh at. And when you want a drama, just play it simply, because we all, life is hard enough.
Tell us, where are we sitting and what is this?
We are in Connecticut, my dear man.
Oh,
Connecticut, I tell you. The magic of motion picture imagery.
But this actually looks like one of the sets that they had in the series, right? That's when they moved to
That's when
Connecticut.
they moved. That's when it went from a half-hour to an hour-long show in this Redhead and Cuban sitcom.
And then where did it go from there?
From there, it was canceled. From there, it went to a spinoff between the 2 women, and the men went off and did their own thing. And so what's interesting and what's so great about Lucille Ball and Vivian Vance is that they really were pioneers, because they really were some of the very first women that comedians could look up to and say, yes, I can do that. You have the straight man and you have the clown. And they worked so well off each other. They went for decades doing their own shows, and even to the very end.
And I could be wrong, but by my count, I can only think of 2 women who own their own shows, and that's Oprah Winfrey and Lucille Ball.
I'll give you a third, Mae West.
Oh,
so I will
that
give
was
you a
before
third.
my time.
I'll give you a third. I'll give you a third. But yes,
she really was. Lucille Ball was really a
she was, and she was a very loyal person. She got there because she stuck with the people she worked with best. She had the same hairdresser, the same makeup, the same Vivian.
And they did it so grassroots. If you look at the credits, there's not that many people.
It wasn't. They were very much pioneers. They're filming in front of a live audience, and they started with the vaudeville show, and then they made a pilot, and they shopped that around to producers, and then it just kept going and going and going. Much was a grassroots.
After you got the call, what research did you have to do for your role?
What's interesting, I started watching all the I Love Lucy episodes.
Okay.
And then I got to rehearsal, and I was like, something's not wrong, something's not right. And I realized I'm not playing Lucy, I'm playing the woman who created Lucy.
Lucille.
So I stopped.
Big difference.
It is a big difference. So I stopped watching the episodes, and I started watching documentaries, and I read every book I could find on her, because I realized she's very much a woman of the 50s. She's very much, stiff upper lip. When there's a crowd, you don't show what you're feeling inside. You keep it very dignified, and you keep everybody happy, and you can go cry, you know, later. I'm putting a little bit on her, but it's that general idea. So I goes, well, all right, I'm going to put the sitcom aside. I'm going to put the funny aside. I'm going to concentrate on the woman.
The
behind
person. Yeah, it was very interesting to see that she wasn't always happy, and she wore two faces.
Yeah, she did. She did. And what's funny is that through my research, I find that a lot. And she was so complex. What a complex woman. Because she started at home, she was the happy housewife, and she just loved her husband, and she really wanted to showcase him. She really wanted to see people to see what this man could do. And then she transformed to a businesswoman, and she was very, you know, very tough backstage and very happy on stage. And she was very full of contradictions like that all through her life. Every phase of her life, it seems, she had this big contradiction.
And that's where art imitates life, and then it becomes art again.
Yes.
It's in a really weird way. Huh?
Yeah, it does.
You bring a heck of a lot to the role. Tell me, what's one of your favorite moments on stage doing the Lucy thing?
Okay. Oh God, and it's such a hard scene to do, but I love the fight at the end between the Redhead and the Cuban. I love that because it's so passionate. It isn't about two people hating each other. It's about two people just butting heads because they're just so passionate and they want so much from the other people that at the end, all you can do is just throw a glass against the wall because what do you do? What do you do? You love someone so much and not getting what you're giving to them. Yes. He's not getting what he wants from her, and she's not giving, but she wants from him, but she's not giving. And so at the end, it just explodes, and it's such a passionate scene, and I psych up for it every week.
I'm getting excited just hearing about it.
Yes.
I wish those folk out there that's watching us would be excited.
Get excited.
We'll come and check out.
Saturdays and Sundays, Mount Hollywood Church, 8 o'clock, Redhead, Cuban, HAUSFRAU, husband. But
Saturdays.
Saturdays, that's what I said. Fridays and Saturdays,
And that's
8
what
o'clock,
she said.
Mount Hollywood Church, Redhead, Cuban, HAUSFRAU, husband.
That is a good pitch.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to get you guys all back together.
Sure.
I want to see how you get along with the director here.
Oh, God.
Let me ask you one thing about the director. Did he give you a lot of room because he wrote, and you know, when we do theater, we try not to change too much. But did he give you room to bring in some?
It depended. Like there were moments where he had very specific ideas, and there were moments where we had complete freedom. So but of course, as the because we had a very long we had a couple months to work on this. So as the rehearsal process went over, eventually it all convoluted, and we, you know, who remembers what the original blocking was and whose idea was this and whatever. So it depended on the moment.
Very interesting. Let me ask you another little behind the scenes. I'll kind of let you go.
Oh, you gossipmonger!
What about, it's just the psyche part of it. Where does Lucy meets Lucille meets Joan? How does that work?
Where I found myself in Lucy, I'm also very, I don't like people to, I put up a wall backstage. I'm not a very, you know, open person. But I think like Lucy, and if I can even compare myself to the women. But where I found is I don't like to show a lot of myself off stage. But when I'm on stage, that's when I really feel like that's where I feel my most safe. And that's where I feel like I can let myself go. And I think Lucille was the same way.
I think you're very courageous too to be so candid. I thank you for your honesty.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate that
Thank
a lot.
you.
I'm excited.
Right.
I don't know what to say. I'm here too. I come and I make sure, you know, we all have to do our part.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
I think you must be honored to be able to play an icon like her.
It was very scary.
Okay.
It's very scary.
Well, you do a lot of justification. In fact,
Yeah.
you start to look like her to me.
Nice.
It's way cool.
Thank you.
That's been